What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Sam, 2 times right, your boys. But another banger action for me, consistent 2 times in the building. Clock it up, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get straight into this video, man. Before I get to this video, all praise goes to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. We got, speaking on Jalen Hurts contract extension, let's get straight into it, man.
Earlier this week, the Eagles extended quarterback Jalen Hurts with a 5-year, $255 million contract. Yesterday, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni spoke about the Eagles' future with Hurts. Hear what he had to say.
We didn't pay him more to do less. I'll say that, right? Will we still think about how to protect him? Yeah, because that's our job to protect our quarterback. But, you know, Jalen does a lot of things really well, and we want to utilize the skills that he has so he can continue to play at a high level. And so, you know, to me, we'll continue to go about our business the same way we went about our business. We'll always think about protecting him first, but you know, we didn't pay him more to do less.
Tim, obviously Eagles making a major investment here in Jalen Hurts. So what is the most important thing, Tim Hasselbeck, that the Eagles need to do to keep him performing at a high level and keep winning with him?
Yeah, I think don't change what they've done. I mean, I look at it and you hear Nick Sirianni talking about, look, I guess, you know, like, hey, are you going to run him less? Are you going to take hits off of him now that you've invested all this money in him? The reality is you get better looks in the passing game when the quarterback is a threat as a runner. And look, he's going to develop as a passer. He's going to continue to improve as a passer, like a lot of quarterbacks do, the more reps they get doing it. And so look, I think that it makes perfect sense what he's saying. I think the big key is just continue to surround him with good players like they've done. And with that, I think you're going to get more consistent play. Look, he played at a ridiculously high level this past year. I think that can continue. And really, for me, I look at where I would attack in this year's draft. It would probably be.
Check product availability on Grainger.com faster than this ad takes.
It's cool.
Mostly on the defensive side of the ball.
Nick, what do you think when you look at the Eagles with Hurts now locked up and that roster that they had in the Super Bowl just a couple months ago? I'm like, do you think they're set up, or do you think you can see it coming back to the pack a little bit?
No, I think they're well positioned to own the NFC. And, of course, in football, the single-game elimination of the playoffs and the randomness of injuries and all that stuff, things could happen. But there's no team I'd rather be right now in the NFC than the Eagles. They have their franchise quarterback locked up. They pretty much don't have any weaknesses. They had 2 draft picks last year that they are going to bring along, 2 first-round draft picks that they're going to continue to bring along, 2 more this year that they're destined to hit on somebody being a star out of that group. This team is well positioned to continue to dominate the league, or at least start dominating the league after what they put together last year.
Diana, Nick mentions the Eagles have 2 first-round picks next week, including a top 10 pick they got last year from the Saints. What do you think their mindset is as they approach the first round of the draft next week?
Well, first of all, let's not overlook the fact that the Eagles played in the Super Bowl last year, and they've got a top 10 pick, right? This hasn't happened since 2008, since we've seen a team play in the Super Bowl and then have a top pick. It's just like they just keep getting more and more and more. It's like, Billy, you're just going to keep building and building, which is why there's so much confidence that.
Facts. We do got a deep roster where you can't think of a weak position. Good quarterback, good running backs, good receivers. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Can't forget about Quez Watkins. Top 5 tight end. Top 2 offensive line. Top 5 defensive line. Got both of our corners back. We good, bro. No weaknesses.
They're going to have another successful season. But in terms of where they want to go, if you're Howie Roseman, right, you're looking at your defensive line as the guys just painted a picture of, you have a lot of these guys getting older, right? And Howie every single year has gone on the lines, right, in the trenches. This is where the Philadelphia Eagles have been built, offensive line, defensive line. And you have to figure they are going to stick what has worked, because it truly has.
Yeah, I would think that's a pretty good bet. Eagles clearly know what they're doing. They had 3 first-round picks last year. They traded and moved some around, and all of a sudden they come up with 2 this year. So chestnut checkers, perhaps, there in Philadelphia. And by the way, that Jalen Hurts contract, the big numbers, yes, but it's structured in a way that really helps them. According to Adam Schefter, Hurts' cap hit this upcoming season just north of $6 million. And you compare that to Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, other guys in the division, obviously far less. When we come back on Get Up, Devin dazzles in LA, but there's one big concern for Kevin Durant and the Suns that could be a recipe for disaster. Tell you what that is when we come back. And it is Sneaky Hembo time. This one's for Tim Bontemps. Tim, who played the most total minutes in a title-winning NBA postseason? Tim's going to think of New York, where Saquon Barkley and the Giants still have yet to come to a long-term deal. Remember, Saquon was franchise tagged and has not signed that franchise tender yet. Yesterday, Giants GM Joe Shane spoke to reporters, and here's what he had to say about Saquon.
Do you remain optimistic that Saquon will be on the field for you at the start of this season? And from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like there's an obvious resolution based on where the two sides have been so far.
Yeah, you have to ask him. I'm not sure. I don't know what his plan is. I haven't talked to him in probably 3 weeks.
He still wants to be on this team.
I haven't talked to him.
So that's going great. Tim, what was your reaction to Joe Shane's reaction to that question?
Well, my reaction is I knew we would overreact just to like the sensitivity of players and how we feel about them when we're talking about their contracts. But look, I actually think that the Giants are sitting in a really good spot, and they should be content with where they are because they, placed this non-exclusive franchise tag on Saquon. Look, I don't think they care if he's there in the offseason. They just want him there in the regular season. He played more snaps last year than any other running back in the NFL, and he was wildly productive. And at around $10 million, he's probably considered a bargain, or at least at a minimum under fair market in terms of his production at his position. So I think the Giants are in a good spot, and I think Saquon Barkley, because of the soft running back market, is in a situation where he can either play on the franchise tag, and then put himself, if he has a great year, in contention for maybe getting a bigger deal that he probably wants, or signing a deal that doesn't just absolutely blow the running back market, blow the top off of running back market.
Man, I was going to put the video. As y'all seen, they think the Eagles is going to be right back in the Super Bowl. I agree. You know what I'm saying? At least the NFC Championship game is going to be back, bro. Got Jalen Hurts locked up for the next 6 seasons, bro. As they said, the cap hit is only $6 million next year. After that, I believe it's 13, and after that, it's 21 and 31. So that's still far less than Daniel Jones. If you go look at Daniel Jones, I think his next cap hit for next year is $41 million. Good luck, Giants. Yeah, man, that's gonna conclude this video, man. All praise goes up to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. You know what I'm saying? This Beanie Boy sent me 2 times. I'm gonna get up out of here. God bless everybody watching this video, man. I hope you're having a positive day, and if you're not, be positive, my boy. Like I said, I'm gonna get up out of here. God bless.